Hi, and welcome back to Alex Talking. I love going to the movies, and 2 nights ago I saw Fantastic Four First Steps. My friends are in town, we've been having a lot of fun, so I did not have the time to make this video, but right now I do. So let's talk about it. Fantastic Four is a movie that I like, the 2005 one, and the Fantastic Four Rise of the Silver Surfer is a movie I also really enjoy. And this movie was really reminiscent of that. But it was also very original for a Marvel Cinematic Universe movie to feel this distinct and original in the way it did. The actors were all super committed. It was a very authentic movie, very authentic story, making it very grounded in a family. And that was refreshing. And as much as this movie maybe wasn't paced as well as other movies I've seen recently, namely like Eddington. I've seen it twice now. Flows at a much higher rate, but it's and 40 minutes longer. Whereas this movie's only like an hour and 50, but it felt a little slow at points. But it all really is coherent and in service of one another. It doesn't feel like they started shooting it without a script. It doesn't feel like it was hacked together in the edit or with reshoots. It's a coherent movie. So even though the story's a little on the softer side for me, a little slower at times, it's still refreshing, and I appreciate this movie more than I like it necessarily, just for being a really authentic, real movie. And in this month with like Jurassic World and Superman, it was nice to have a blockbuster of some substance and quality. So I really enjoyed that about this movie, and I thought that the cast, which I'll be one of those people that will admit, whenever I heard Pedro Pascal cast as Mr. Fantastic, I was like, again, this guy's in everything. But he was great. He was absolutely fantastic. He won me over completely with Materialist and Eddington, alongside how good he is as Joel in The Last of Us. But he was just terrific here. And then you've got Eben Moss Bacharach, cousin from The Bear, as the Thing. That was my MVP. I'll be honest, that was my standout. Julia Garner as the Silver Surfer was great. Um, the Storm siblings, Vanessa Kirby as Sue Storm, and uh, gosh, Joseph Quinn as Johnny Storm. They were both good too. Everybody really was solid and did their part. But Galactus, I wish he was in it a little more. Rafe Ianson, I really like that guy from The Witch and stuff. And he's such a good cast for Galactus. I have to hope they'll bring Galactus back because he just got sent through a portal. He'll be back. Um, but overall, no, I just thought this movie was super unique, and they had real sets. They had real costumes, real sets. They were really real actors in the same room talking to each other. And let's be real, we haven't gotten that in a long time in a lot of these MCU movies. And especially not in a way that was genuinely funny at times and authentic and didn't have the constant quipping. It was such a recalculation, a recalibration, and a slowdown. And hey, we really need to take care of this thing because as much as I like those 2005 Tim Story films, a lot of people don't. And a lot of people, including me, despise the 2015 one. So these characters really needed to be taken care of. And they didn't want to just throw them haphazardly into the current state of the MCU. They wanted to give them their own Earth, and then they'll come to the MCU in their own way. Um, so overall, yeah, I just thought this was a very refreshing take on these characters that I've loved. I've read the comics of the Fantastic Four more than anybody else. I don't mean anyone else in the world. I mean more than any other comic book character. I've read the Fantastic Four comics in my life more than any other character because they've just always been my favorite and the funnest to me whenever I was a kid. Them and the X-Men. So I've been really looking forward to this for a very long time. And um, I really think this was a great starting point. I would give this movie like a 3 out of 5. Because it's not that memorable, and it's not like I would ever really rewatch this on Disney Plus, I guess is why I give it that rating. And like I would still put it below Deadpool and Wolverine. But I would say outside of Deadpool and Wolverine and Guardians of the Galaxy 3, this is easily right there as the best movie they've made post Endgame, and like by a landslide. This is the start of Phase 6, and this is probably the best movie they've made in terms of giving their universe a direction. Because Guardians 3 and Deadpool and Wolverine let's be honest, both of them were very closed loop sailing experiences. They were very contained and putting a bow on a story and a universe. And Deadpool and Wolverine barely feels like an MCU movie, as much as it very much so is. So, in a lot of ways, this is just the best MCU movie since Endgame by virtue of truly feeling like an MCU movie, but also being something new and better and interesting and exciting for this universe. And we just haven't had that in so long. Um, so, my friends who we all went in fairly optimistically. Hey, I hope this is good. I really do. We've been burned so many times. That's exactly what my fiance said. She was like, I can't believe we're all actually optimistic going in because we've been burned so many times. But hey, it actually was pretty solid. So we came out all like, hey, that was actually a lot better than they have been recently. A little slow at times. My buddy fell asleep through the majority of it, the one guy. But but I enjoyed it, and I thought the space stuff, the cosmic, intergalactic stuff, was awesome. Super Fantastic Four, super comic booky. The whole thing is actually paced like a Saturday morning cartoon. You can even tell when the episodes or issues would be separated based on like this is whenever they go to space. This is, I'm not gonna actually. I actually decided I didn't want to spoil this one because it's a bigger movie like this, and I respect a lot of people wait to go see something like this. So I'm trying to be a little elusive about plot points and only talk about the characters that are shown in the trailer and stuff. But there's very distinct breaks between scenes and settings and acts that function like it would end of an episode of television or the end of a comic. And I thought that was also very fitting with the aesthetic. And the aesthetic was so tactile and, palpable. For once, you could really feel not just in theory they were doing something different, but in reality, in front of you, the film was different. It was paced differently. The characters were written differently. And that was what made it really refreshing. So I think they did a great job with this. I really do. I hope you enjoy it. Let me know what you think in the comments. And let me know what you thought of Happy Gilmore too, if you want as well. Have a great day.